Hello guys, Zach here, and today I thought I would do a video that I've been thinking about doing for a while now. My top 10 Thomas episodes. In fact, I'm soon in the future going to do top 10 characters, maybe even ranking the seasons, too. Also, the videos are flipped to avoid copyright. Also, I should probably say Thomas and Friends is copyright to Mattel. Well, without further ado, let's get started on my top 10 Thomas episodes. Also, these are just purely my opinion. Number 10. Deputation. What can I say? I love Donald and Douglas. They're definitely my top 10 favorite characters. And sure, the story's not too crazy, but I absolutely love the music and the snowy visuals. Let's talk about the music. Donald and Douglas's theme in Season 2 is probably some of the best in the show, period. And snowy visuals in Thomas is always a treat. So yeah, number 10 spot, well earned. Number 9. Thomas and Birdie. And I know what you're thinking. What is a B-tier episode doing on this list? Well, it's pretty much because of nostalgia. I had a DVD as a kid with this episode on it, and it's the only time I remember watching a classic Thomas episode as a kid. And the story always stuck out to me. Now rewatching it, I can see it's nothing too special, but I feel like a kid every time rewatching it. Number 8. The Flying Kipper. Yes, I know every YouTuber has this on their list, but it deserves it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because so many people already have, but there are 3 reasons: the music and the crash. Also the snowy visuals. Let's talk about the music. It's one of the best in the show. Some of you would argue it's the best crash. It's amazing. The snowy visuals look like it came straight out of Winter Wonderland. So yeah, this episode is great. Number 7. The Trouble with Mud. This is great to me because of the scenery, and man is it beautiful. The fall look with all the leaves is gorgeous. Where I live, the trees in the fall look exactly like that, and the scene of James slipping down the hill is pretty intense for just sliding down a hill. So yeah, all around, decent episode. Number 6. Trucks. This episode is just amazing. Peter Sam is also on my top 10 list. He is always very cheerful, even if he might be clueless of what the problem is or how serious it is. Let's talk about the crash. It's one of the best in the series. Also, Sir Handel definitely got what he deserved. So yeah, I always loved this episode. Number 5. Special Funnel. This is definitely the best Season 4 episode in my opinion. The snowy visuals are at its peak. The opening shot with Peter Sam is probably one of the best shots on the show. The song that Sir Handel sang is also hilarious. Number 4. Edward's Exploit. My opinions for this episode is the same as everyone else's, so I'm not going to talk about it for too long. But this is like the finale to Edward's journey of being picked on by the tender engines. They pick on him for being old. He proves them wrong, and it's awesome. Also, the music is so amazing. Number 3. A Close Shave. This episode is just amazing. One of the best runaways in the show. It's super intense when Duck hears that guard whistle, and all of a sudden it's a race against the clock to get Duck and the trucks to stop. And of course he doesn't, and that's when we get one of the most famous shots of the show, Duck crashing into the barber shop. And the ending is pretty funny. Also the music is great too. Number 2. Drunken Gets spooked. This episode is crazy good. When the engine falls off the ravine bridge, it's bone-chilling. That's one of the best things about Classic Thomas. It was never afraid to play with tone. You should really watch Unlucky Tug's video on this episode. Also, Duncan is in my top 10 characters too. He's just so funny. Honorable mentions. Escape. It is a good episode, but the only thing I ever liked was the music. If you didn't know, the Escape theme was inspired by the movie The Great Escape and Indiana Jones. Woolly Bear. I love this episode, but it just couldn't compete with the other episodes. Also, I love the roasting between Thomas and Percy.
A green caterpillar with red stripes, continued Thomas firmly. You crawl like one too. I don't.
And finally, my number 1 Thomas episode is Cranky Bugs. This episode is just fantastic. The nighttime scene with the boat plowing through the docks is just so good. Cranky falling over not once but twice is hilarious. The lighting is amazing. The music is amazing. It's also super intense when the shed falls over. So maybe in the future, my opinions might change in this episode. But for right now, it's my favorite Thomas and Friends episode. Thank you very much for watching.